Hi everybody, it's me, LisaT, coming at you with some positive energy, reading The Language of Letting Go by Beattie. It's a beautiful Easter Sunday. Happy birthday, Carly! And yeah, we are going to read April 4th, right? Yeah, April 4th. Negotiating conflicts. Ooh, we don't like conflict. We don't like conflict, right? We avoid conflict. So we got to negotiate conflicts. April 4th. Recovery is about more than walking away. Sometimes it means learning to stay and deal. It's about building and maintaining relationships that work. So we don't just like walk away from a problem when we're having we don't always just walk away. Sometimes we have to learn how to stay and deal with it. Just like we have to learn to stay and deal with our emotions and our feelings that come up, the ones we don't like. We can stay with them and process them and feel them, deal them, and heal them, right? So with this relationship piece too, like any relationship with a boss, with a coworker, with a friend, with a spouse, with a whoever, family member, we can feel and deal and heal in the relationship too. That's what I think this is going to be about. So don't always walk away. Sometimes it means learning to stay and deal. It's about building and maintaining relationships that work. And there's a relationship with ourselves too. The number one relationship you're going to have in your life is with yourself. So hence what I just talked about, learning to stay with it and feel it and deal with it and heal with it. The biggest relationship you're going to have in your life, the longest relationship you're going to have in your life is the one with yourself. So problems and conflicts are part of life and relationship. It's part of life. Life and death, it's all part of life. Death is part of life. Problems are part of life. And like I've said before, the more problems we solve, the more success we have. So problems are just part of the process. Problems and conflicts are part of life and relationships. With friends, family, loved ones, and at work. Problem solving and conflict negotiation are skills we can acquire and improve with time. It's all skills. It's a practice, just like meditation is a practice. My massage therapy is a practice. Your eating habits are a practice. Your exercise routine is a practice. We practice it. Your piano is a practice. Your guitar, it's all a practice. We keep doing it and doing it and doing it until it becomes like very natural and organic for us. And so we can do the same thing with negotiating or conflict negotiation and problem solving. We can acquire and improve these with time. Not being willing to tackle and solve problems in relationships leads to unresolved feelings of anger, victimization, terminated relationships, unresolved problems, and power plays. So when you're not willing to do this stuff, when you're not willing to conflict negotiate and problem solve, then it leads to unresolved feelings of anger, victimization, terminated relationships, unresolved problems, and power plays that intensify the problem and waste time and energy. What you resist persists. If we avoid these things, it's going to intensify whatever's coming up through these things, through these conflicts that we have in relationships. So we got to deal with it. We got to feel it and deal it and heal it, right? So, because if we don't, it wastes. When we don't do this, that intensifies the problem and wastes time and energy. Not being willing to face and solve problems means we may run into that problem again. Hence why we have reoccurring stuff happening in our lives, because we haven't dealt with something. Once you deal with it, you can heal it and move on and finally wipe the slate clean. Otherwise it's going to keep on repeating in some way, shape, or form. It could come up subtly. Maybe the anger you have with your spouse is going to come out at the grocery store clerk, or come out at a stranger on the street, or honking, or in traffic or something. It's going to come out some way. It might not necessarily be with the person that you're having a conflict with, but it will come out until we deal with it. Not being willing to face and solve problems means we may run into that problem again. Some problems with people cannot be worked out in mutually satisfactory ways. Sometimes the problem is a boundary issue we have, and there is no room to negotiate. In that case, we need to clearly understand what we want and need and what our bottom line is. What is a what's the word? Deal breaker. What's the deal breaker here, right? Well, there's a bottom line here. So if it's a boundary issue, someone's crossing a boundary, there might not be the ability to resolve the conflict if that person is unwilling to stop crossing that boundary. Some problems with people, though, can be worked through, and satisfactorily negotiated. Often, there are workable options for solving problems that we will not even see until we become open to the concept of working through the problems in relationships. So you might even not know there's a solution, but once you're willing to work through it, then you see, oh, there is a way to work through this. Once you're willing to do it, then you see the solution. Even see until we become open to the concept of working through problems in relationships rather than running from them. Stop running from things. Be willing to face it. Stop running from your emotions. Stop running from your conflict. Stop running from your life. Face it. Face it. To negotiate problems, we must be willing to identify the problem. Let go of blame and shame. It's not about blaming anybody or shaming yourself. It's just about identifying the problem, and then focus on problem creative solutions. To successfully negotiate and solve problems in relationships, we must have a sense of our bottom line or deal breaker and our boundary issues, so we don't waste time trying to negotiate non-negotiable issues. Don't waste time trying to negotiate a non-negotiable. So the only way we can know that is by knowing our boundaries, knowing our needs and our wants, and our bottom lines. So we need to learn to identify what both people really want and need, and the different possibilities for working that out. So it's about being open to what someone else's needs are, what your needs are, and being able to see each other's point of view. It's like open-mindedness. We got to have open-mindedness. It's not all about you in a conflict situation. So we can learn to be flexible without being too flexible, finding balance. We want to be flexible, but not too flexible. Finding balance without being too flexible. Committed, intimate relationships means two people are learning to work together. You got two universes colliding in an intimate relationship. Two worlds where we see the world through different eyes. We have different needs. We've had different experiences that have caused different, stuff to come up within us. So we got to recognize that we got two universes colliding. So we got to be able to come together and see each other's point of view. So it means two people are learning to work together. So committed, intimate relationships means two people are learning to work together through their problems and conflicts in ways that work in both people's best interests. It's got to work for both. Here's your prayer. Today, I will be open to negotiating conflicts I have with people. Just be open to it, into negotiating, instead of just seeing your closed-minded one-side view. Today, I will be open to negotiating conflicts I have with people. I will strive for balance without being too submissive or too demanding. I will strive for appropriate flexibility in my problem-solving efforts and focus on balance. Not too far this way, not too far this way, right in the middle. Balance. That's it for today. Happy Sunday. Happy Easter. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.